Hi, everyone, and welcome to Afterglow. I'm Julie, and today we're going to do a wrist-free practice. So we're going to avoid some chaturangas, and hopefully you'll feel just as strong and just as sweaty by the end of this. So let's get started just seated. You can be seated on your knees, or you can have a seat cross-legged, whatever is most comfortable, placing your palms down, face down for some grounding energy today. So start to close your eyes and begin to focus in on your breath. Taking in some nice big inhales in through the nose. And then really forcefully allow the air to come out, open mouth, exhale. Yeah, and do that again a couple of times. Inhale through the nose. And exhale, open your mouth and side out. One more time like that. Inhale. And exhale, let it out. And just begin to notice your body as you're seated on your mat. Notice your body in space around you. Start to pay attention to the sounds that you hear, the feelings that you feel, and begin to create a new awareness for what's happening within you right here and right now on your mat. Taking this time for yourself to unwind, to release, to let go of anything that you're holding on to right now in your body and in your mind. And really be here in this space. Be here on your mat in the present moment. So if that means that you have to remind yourself to come back to your breath, then go ahead and do that. Just allow yourself to notice that you're thinking, and then just bring your focus back to your breath. If that means that parts of your body are calling out to you, challenging you, or letting you know that there's some aches and pains or tightness, then focus in on that. Focus in on those areas of the body. And then we'll try to merge or meld the two together, allowing breath and body to become one as we move and as we flow. Let's draw hands to your heart center here. Just take a moment to set an intention for your practice. That can be anything you want right now. And breathe it in and breathe it out. Beautiful. Just releasing your hands down. We're going to come into our forearm plank right away. So again, avoiding the wrists as much as we can. Coming right into forearm plank, stacking shoulders over the elbows, and then tuck the tailbone under so that you feel like as you're tucking, your glutes automatically engage, and sometimes they won't. Sometimes you can tuck your tailbone and not even access the glutes. So now start to squeeze through the glutes, and then the core starts to engage nice and strong, and you can hear I'm already starting to feel a little shake here. So if you're feeling like you're bowing through the belly, you can just lower your knees and still feel that tuck of the tailbone and squeeze through the glutes, right? And wherever you are, begin to pull yourself up and away from that mat so that you're drawing away from the shoulders. And breathe. Good. And then just lower your knees down, keeping the knees nice and tight together. Release down into your child's pose. And then we'll come back into that forearm plank again, just starting to really warm up through the core here. And then bring the feet together nice and tight so that your ankles kind of click together here. Again, tuck the tailbone under, squeeze the glutes, pause, pull away from the mat, breathe. Inhale here, and exhale, allow the heels to release over to the right. Draw the heels back through center, and allow the heels to release over to the left. Bring the heels back through center, lower the knees, and release back, finding your breath. And then we'll come into tabletop. And again, if you have any wrist injuries, you can always sort of fist your hands onto the mats. Or if this is fine for you, maybe you want to walk your hands a little bit further forward so that shoulders are not stacking exactly over the wrists, but they're just a little bit further in front. And then start to move into your cat-cow pose, starting to tilt the tailbone up, lifting up and looking up, breathing, inhale. And then exhale as you round in. Inhaling, coming into your cow face pose. And exhale, round it in. Inhaling. And exhale. And you can pause this at any time. If you want to keep moving through any pose that feels really good for you, just press pause on your system and then continue through. So let's come back into neutral spine here and release the right foot straight back. So allow the right toes to be placed on the mat, resting down, and then draw the left knees up. Start to round and curl and arch your back so you're in a little bit of a bow here. And then release the knee down, shin taps on the mat, and draw back up again. Exhale, release. Good. And then keep moving through here. Again, if this is hard on the wrists, you can bring the arms forward, you can fists, right? So then you feel stronger and less pressure or compression in the wrist creases. And then let's lower that leg down. Bring the right leg back, sit down into your heels, and then drag your fingertips back, placing them behind you. Lift up and open up through the shoulders. This feels so good. Continuing to breathe here, squeezing through the glutes, maybe tucking the tailbone, and then you can notice the length through your quads here. Good, lowering down. Let's come back into tabletop. Again, notice your wrists. Decide if you want to bring your fists onto the mat, and then move through your cat-cow. Feeling yourself warming up here. Using your breath, inhale to open up, and exhale to round. Inhale to open, and exhale, release. Good, and then just release down here. Again, you can bring your wrists further forward or stack right underneath, and then the left leg's going to come back, pressing the left toes down into the mat. Lift through the shins. Start to bow and round and really engage through the core. And then lower, release, and draw back up again. Continue here. Again, if you want to use your fists. Lowering down, the shin just taps, really getting into the core. Breathing as you flow. And then release. Release the knee back down. Slide the palms back behind you. Lifting up, open up through the shoulders. So again, if you're avoiding the wrists here, you can be up on your fingertips with your fingers turned outwards so that there's no compression in the wrist creases. And then we're getting a little bit more strength through the fingers here. Something we forget to do. Strengthen through our hands. Good, and then exhale, lower down. Walk your hands forward, tuck your toes, and then come into your first downward dog. So breathing here, let's really find our breath and find this place in downward dog that we'll come back to over and over again. So breathing, inhaling, and exhaling. And that feels so good to really find your breath in this space. And notice I'm not really moving very much here because I'm really focused in on my breath to start. I really want to find my center through my breath. And then I might start to move around a little bit here. Now finding a little bit more length in the body. Really feeling the opening of the shoulders. So we're going to do a modified sun salutation here again to avoid the wrist, but you're still going to feel the body warming up, the heart rate speeding up, right? The breath flowing in the body. And so take a big inhale here and exhale, bend your knees and look towards the top of the mat. Nice. And from here, you can either walk, step, or hop forward, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold. And then Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift, lifting up, looking forward, squeezing through the glutes and pulling up and in through the core. Draw your shoulders back. Exhale to forward fold. Bend the knees if you need to. Sweep your arms all the way up to standing. Take a big inhale here and exhale, hands come to heart center. So we'll flow in this modified sun salutation here where we can avoid chaturanga, avoid the wrists. So take a big inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. And then exhale, find your forward fold. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, inhale, lifting up and lengthening. Exhale, release the hands down to the mat. Step all the way back into your downward dog, so no compression in the wrist creases here. Take a big inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees down to the mat, untuck the toes, slide the hands back behind you. Again, fingertips can be turned out. Inhale, lift up. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, release down. Reach the arms forward, tuck the toes, come back into your downward dog. Lift your right leg all the way up. Lower the leg. Lift the left leg all the way up. Lower the leg. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, bend the knees, step, walk, hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up through standing. And then we flow right through. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release hands down to the mat. Step back all the way into your downward dog. Inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees down. Slide the arms back behind. Press up. Open up the heart. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, release. Coming back into your downward dog. Starting to warm up. Right leg lifts right away. And left leg lifts. Exhale. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, bend the knees, walk or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. Big breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Stepping back, find your downward dog. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, big breath. Exhale, release. Find your downward dog. As you tuck your toes, start to bring the right leg up. Lower the right leg down, left leg lifts. Lower the left leg down. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. One more time like this. Forward fold all the way through. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release down, stepping right back into your downward dog. When you're in your downward dog, your wrist creases are pulling away, so there's no pressure on the wrists at all. Exhale to lower down, slide the hands back. Inhale to lift, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, release, finding your downward dog. Right leg lifts, lower it down, left leg lifts. Lower it down. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk or hop. Inhale to your halfway lift. And exhale to forward fold. Sweeping all the way up. Coming back, hands to heart center. So pause here. Find your breath. Really feel the body and what's warmed up so far in the body. Like, how do you feel through your center? Can you feel your feet rooting down into the mat? Can you feel the heart already opening with that modified sun salutation? Yeah, and breathe. Maybe closing the eyes here and just relaxing through the shoulders. Beautiful. We'll move through a little flow here. Inhaling, sweep the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release the hands down. Again, step right back into your downward dog. Right leg is going to lift. Inhale, beautiful. Bend the right knee and open up the hip. Start to bring the heel towards the glute. And notice the higher you lift that right knee, the more that right glute activates. Yeah, and then let's not forget about the left leg. Press down through the left heel and squeeze that left glute lift up through the left sit bone. Beautiful. Right leg lifts all the way up. Exhale, step the foot between the hands, and let's lower the back foot down into warrior one. So I like to walk my back foot out to the outside edge of the mat, sweep the arms all the way up in the air here. Yeah, sink down into that front knee. Let's get right to it. Interlace the palms behind the back. Open up through the shoulders. And so as I do this, ribs want to pop out. Start to tuck the tailbone on so you contain the core. And then hinge forward, right shoulder on the inside of the right inner thigh. Humble warrior, reaching up and over. And if this is too hard on your shoulders, you can always release your hands down to the lower back. Or keep your hands on your hips. And try not to sink into that right knee, right? Try to squeeze through that right glute. And then take hands down, walk them out to the top left corner of the mat. Breathe. Inhale here. Exhale, start to walk your hands all the way through center, turning your toes to face the side wall. Coming down into Prasarita Padottanasana, releasing the crown of the head. Breathing here. Good. And then we'll walk the hands just a little bit further forward, maybe a foot forward, then your feet, pressing down through the palms. Again, if this is hard on the wrists, you can come up to your fingertips. Start to lift up through the heels, pull up through the core, and then lower down, rock back, lift the toes. Come up onto your toes, lift the heels, and now activate through the pelvic floor, pull up and in through your core, lower heels, rock back, lift the toes. Lifting up, core lifts, so this is not just happening through the calves here. You're using your belly. Exhale, lower down, lift the toes. One more time like that, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Walk the hands back on the inside of that right foot. Place the palms down on the mat or the fingertips, whatever feels best for you. So you're in a modified lizard or a powered lizard here. And then inhale, lift up through the heart. Good. Breathe here. Exhale, release the palms down. Step back into your downward dog. Take a big breath here. Inhale. Exhale, lower down onto the knees. Slide the hands back behind you. This is your vinyasa. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release down. Bringing the hands forward, finding your downward dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, bend the knees. Walk or hop all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. How we doing? We're going to go again on the left side. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down, stepping back into your downward dog. Left leg is going to lift this time. Bend the knee and open up the hip. Again, pressing down through that right heel, lifting through the right glute. And then the left knee lifts up, engaging the left glute. The heel comes towards the right glute. Breathing here, finding that stacking sensation, left hip on top of right. Beautiful. Leg lengthens, step it through. Let's come into our warrior one again. Finding almost like a runway between the heels. So it's heel to heel alignment, but I like to move that right foot out a little bit and then come on up. And that way I can get my right hip moving forward, sweeping the arms all the way up in the air. Beautiful. Right into it. Interlace the palms behind the back. Pull the palms down, lift up. Popping out my ribs, I'm going to pull and tuck my tailbone under. I'm going to draw belly in. Exhale, left shoulder on the inside of the left inner thigh this time. Arms reach up and over. Again, if that's hard on your shoulders, just place the palms on your back. Squeezing through that left hip. Drag that left heel back towards the right. Beautiful. And then release hands down. Walk the hands towards the top right corner. So you're still in this same formation of warrior one legs, squeezing through that left glute, pull the hips back, lengthen the spine. Beautiful. And then I'm going to turn to face away from you, coming into the Prasarita Padottanasana again. Breathing here. So from Prasarita Padottanasana, just really feel like you're having all four corners of the feet pressing down. Maybe try to press out through the outer edges of the feet to start, and notice that's a lot of weight and pressure on the outer feet. So draw the center back, right? Center of the arches. Beautiful. Good. And from here, instead of walking your hands forward, we're going to try and align the hands in the same line as the arches. Again, you can be on your fingertips. So there's more work in the core here, right? So palms can be pressing down, lifting up, and lowering down. Lift the toes. Lifting up and lowering down. Lift the toes. Lifting up, lowering down. Lift the toes. Lift up, lower down, lift the toes. Good. Release. Walk the hands back, finding that nice power lizard pose. You could be up on your fingertips or down on the palms. Lift up through the heart. Breathe. So find this nice opening in the heart and draw back through that right hip. Good. From here, any way you can, make your way back into your downward dog. Pressing down through the palms. Lower down on the knees. Slide the hands back behind you. I'm going to use my fingertips this time because I'm starting to feel my wrists. Lift up. Squeeze the glutes. And exhale, lower down. Reach the arms back in front. Tuck the toes. Come on back into your downward dog. Beautiful. Good. Let's do that little flow again. Lowering down. Dragging hands back. Lifting up. Opening up the heart. See if you can not have your shoulders sticking into your ears here. It's a bit tricky. And then exhale, release down. Feel that in the quads. Releasing, coming back into your downward dog. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, bottom of the exhale, hop or step. Find your way to the top of the mat. Inhale to your halfway lift. And exhale to forward fold. Let's bend the knees and sweep the mat here, coming into Utkatasana chair pose. So let's try to notice what happens here in Utkatasana, right? Do our ribs stick out? And then compression and pressure happens in the lower back. Can you tuck just slightly to align the spine? We don't want this, we don't want rounding, but just aligning the spine. And the whole time, energy is drawing inwards in towards the inner thighs. Knees are coming together. And so arms can be straight up or straight forward, whatever feels good for you. Take a big breath here. Let's just flow and release some energy. So inhale, lift up, look up, exhale, blow it out. Inhale, sweep. Exhale. Inhale, sweep. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. This time interlace your palms behind your back. Again, find a little bit of that shoulder opening. If it's too tight on the shoulders, just have the arms reaching back if that feels comfortable for you. Good, and then still a slight bend in the knees. Can you pull your belly off of your thighs? And breathe. Good, and then inhale. Sweep the mat, come back into your Utkatasana chair pose. Good, so we're sitting just a little bit deeper here, maybe a little bit deeper, and the holding and the pressure, we can feel it through all parts of the legs. Good, just take a little step out here, And then we're going to do the same thing and release energy, but flowing with the arms inside. Maybe the legs straighten, maybe not. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, whoosh. Inhale, arms up. I can feel that. Sweeping. Inhale, arms up. One more time like that, sweeping. And then inhale, arms up. Beautiful. Bring your hands to heart center. Turn your toes out. Come on down into your Malasana squat, goddess squat. Nice. We'll release the fingertips down behind and then extend the legs straight out on the mat. How are we feeling? Good. Lift the shoulders up and roll them back. Press the palms down into the mat, Dandasana. So this is just staff pose. Lifting up through the heart, pulling the toes back, maybe closing your eyes, and just being here and breathing. Feel the length of the spine, so all the muscles along the spine are active. The shoulders are dropping away from the ears. Legs are active, toes drawing back. Breathe. And so as you roll your shoulders up and then down your back, notice your nice long spine here. So we're just going to creep the fingers forward without rounding. So we're not trying to get here. We're trying to get here, right? Open. And then little by little, parts of the belly may release down, but continue to keep that long spine. Continue to pull the toes back, just activating the legs, and then maybe draw your fingertips back, right? You can keep drawing them back to find that length in the spine. The shoulder blades draw together. We really feel this strength through the back body. Yeah, and then you know what? Let's just round and release. That feels good. And breathe. And then to slowly uncurl, drawing the soles of the feet together, knees apart. Let's come into Baddha Konasana. And so allowing the feet, you don't have to have them super tight and then not too far away. So just kind of a little in between, mid-level here. And I like to kind of rock myself around here and get right up onto my sit bones. And if you need a block or a blanket underneath your sit bones, go ahead and do that. Place something underneath you so that you can get your hips just a little bit higher so your knees can come down a little bit lower, right? And then instead of like flopping like a butterfly, let's really press down. So activate through your glutes and through your quads. See how much you can press down while lengthening the spine, keeping ears away, shoulders away from the ears. Yeah. Keep your ears away from your shoulders too. Good. Breathe here. Squeezing through the glutes, activating the legs. Yeah, and then just exhale, release. That feels good. Let's do that again. Pressing down. So you can really feel the legs active here, right? This isn't just a stretch. You're strengthening here as you open up through your heart. Yeah, and then release. And one more time like that. Pressing down. Lifting up through your spine, activate through your glutes. That feels good. Feels nice and strong. I can feel all the muscles along my spine active here as well. Beautiful. And then just release. Take your feet out nice and wide. Palms can come behind, and let's just allow the knees to fall from one side to the other side. Starting to cool down here just a little bit. And let's release the feet, the knees down to one side, right? And just keep them down there. Start to lift up through your heart. Press your right knee down. So if your knees are moved over to face the left-hand side, like mine are, so we're mirroring, but mine are on the left-hand side. I'm pressing down through that right quad, lifting the right hip, lifting my heart. Beautiful. And then come on back, other side. Press down through that left thigh. Lift up through the heart. And breathe. Beautiful. And then just allow your feet to come onto the mat with your knees bent. Lift up through your heart and slowly lower down all the way onto your backs. So releasing down. That feels good just being here. Keeping the heels, the knees bent, bringing the heels towards the fingertips. And they may graze the fingertips, they may not. We really just want to have the knees kind of stacked over the ankles, right? So if you're too far in, then your knees are going to be forward. And if you're too far out, you won't find as much stability. Good, so pressing down through the palms here. Before you even lift, just tuck your tailbone and squeeze. So I'm not even lifting. I'm just rolling my spine backwards so that I can engage my glutes. And then pressing down through the palms, that's where you're going to start to lift up and breathe. And then exhale, just lower down, one vertebrae at a time. Good, and then tuck first, and then lift and roll up. And exhale, rolling down. Release. Tuck first, lifting up. Good, exhaling. And release. Beautiful. Can we press down through the feet, tuck the tailbone, lift all the way up, get grounded through the left heel, press through the palms, and lift the right leg straight up. And then let's move here, lowering down one vertebrae at a time. Tuck and squeeze that left buttock, and then lift up and press up. Exhale, lower. Lift up and press up. And exhale, lower. So we're not pressing up as fast as we can, because that would be fun, but also using too much momentum. We really want to feel that squeeze of that left buttock and lower down. Release the right leg down. Tuck the tailbone, squeeze the glutes, lift up, get stable through the right foot, lift the left leg up. Exhale, lower down, getting into the hamstrings just a little bit. As you're lifting, feel like you can drag the right heel towards your butt cheek. Yeah. Lifting up nice and slowly. No momentum here. We're not yanking our way up. We're paying very close attention to that right glute, right quad. Lifting up. And exhale, lowering down. Beautiful. Bring the soles of the feet together here. Supta Baddha Konasana, finding your palms open and breathe. And then we bring everything back to where we started from, right? We go back to the breath and focusing on the breath. We go back to paying attention to the body and noticing what parts of the body are speaking to us. Maybe some parts right now are saying, that feels so good. And maybe some parts are saying, what just happened? So pay attention. Continue feeling that connection of breath and body together. Drawing the knees back through center. Take your left knee in. Right leg comes straight out. Pull that left knee in and maybe just move around in your hip a little bit. And start to extend that left leg straight up. I like to give a little rub on the back of the hamstring. Start to flex your left toes. And if your knee does not straighten, that's totally fine. And then walk your hands up, maybe lifting up through the heart. Finding a little bit of a lift here using your core. Release the hands. Slowly lower back down. Good. Draw your right knee in. Pulling that knee in, maybe moving it over to the side a little bit. And then straightening the leg, flexing the foot again, maybe rubbing. And that leg might straighten, it might not. Walking the hands up the back of the leg, lifting up through your heart, maybe releasing. Holding here. You can hear my voice shaking just a little bit. And then exhale, everything lowers down. Beautiful. Let's take a big stretch here. Point the toes, draw the belly in. Oh yeah, that feels good. And release. Good. One more time like that. Breathe in. And exhale, let it out. So find a really comfortable Shavasana here. So if you're at home and you can position the bolsters or pillows underneath your knees for a little elevation and support on your lower back, do that. And then just be here and release and feel the effects of your practice, just short and sweet. Building some heat and then letting it go. And so find this place for yourself here on your mat where you can completely release. Sending a mental command down to the tips of your toes to relax, to the arches of your feet, the heels and ankles, relaxing through your calves and through your shins, through your kneecaps, softening through the backs of the knees and the hamstrings. Really letting go in the quads, in the hips, in the pelvis. Feel your glutes soften, your lower back spread across the mat. Belly soft, ribs, heart space, back body and upper back. Completely release and let go. Soften through your shoulders, through your neck, and through your throat. Allow your jaw to unclench and release, your teeth to soften and open, your tongue to fall back in your mouth. Feel your ears soften, your cheekbones, your nose, your eyes, your eyeballs, your eyebrows and the space between your eyebrows, all just floating away from the center line of your face. Softening through the forehead, softening through every hair on the top of your head. And allow your entire back body to melt into the mat and release. The beauty of being at home is you get to stay here for as long as you like, and if you want, this is the place that you can complete your practice. And bring one hand to your heart and the other on top. Just take a moment for some gratitude and some self-love here. Giving yourself this time and this space around you. For connecting your breath to your body, and for being here, present, and on your mat. Take a big inhale, and exhale it out. And when you're ready, begin to move the body in any way that feels comfortable for you, so that you can start to make your way up to a seated position. Back on your mat, finding your center, finding the place where you started from. Close your eyes here, drawing your hands to your heart center. Take a big inhale in through the nose, and exhale it out. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Thank you for coming to your mat and giving yourself this gift. Namaste.